Hi everyone, welcome to Tom's Manshed. Okay, today's review is on this. I'll have to wheel back. I'm not that strong, I've already unboxed it, I'll be showing you during the demo soon. But it's basically this, it's a Vax Steerable Advance UCSUSHV1 vacuum cleaner. Now, the reason I bought this is, if you saw the review on the Vax carpet shampooer I did recently, as you know, before you shampoo a carpet, you've got to hoover it. And the hoover we had, which is a Panasonic, again, I'll show you later in action, an old Panasonic upright. They've had at least 10, I bet it's getting on 15 years. Even though all the filters were clean and everything, it's certainly seen its day, really. It's not as good as it was when it was new. So it was time for a new vacuum cleaner. I'm trying to get out of the habit of calling them hoovers, but a new vacuum cleaner. Now, I loved the Vax shampooer that I've just bought in the other review. So I went online, did a bit of researching, and yeah, Dysons are very nice looking and get rave reviews, but as you know, they are a heck of a price. You know, you're talking about 300 quid, 400 quid for a top of the range sort of Dyson. Shark seem much better value. My daughter's got a Shark, but I saw some online reviews of this particular one I bought, and it was getting really good reviews, as all the sites were. So I decided to buy this one. Now, like I said, I went online and let's have a look. Here we are. I went online. I was going to buy this one, the Vax Steerable Pet Max from Argos for £120. I love the colour as well and that, but I decided on which one? This one. Now this is John Lewis site, just to show you it's exactly the same price. It's a tenner more than the Pet Max one. Still looks good in red. It's not as bright red as that when you get it, but I prefer the other colour, but colours are nothing to do with it really, are they? So that's the one I bought there. That's more like the colour. It's like a dark red. And as you can see, it's 129. Now, you may be confused or wondering, like I was, the difference between the Pet Max and the Pet Max Advance, and there's also one that powers its way along called, I can't remember, Power or something, which I didn't want. So if you go on Vax's website, here they are, the three. Now, there's the Vax Airlift Steerable Pet, the Vax Airlift Steerable Pet Max, and the Vax Airlift Steerable Advance. Now, the standard Pet, which is a blue colour, and the Max, which is a purple colour, I think that's the nicest colour, are both the same price. So the difference is in the tools that you get with it. So if you look, this is the standard, the blue one, and it comes with, I'll show you these tools for real in a bit. It comes with the 3-in-1 tool and the turbo tool. So all versions come with them, but that's it, tool-wise, for that one. The Pet Max, the word Max, means that you get with it, as well as the 3-in-1 tool and the turbo tool, you get a fur and a fluff tool. So that, and then the Advance, which is the one I got, which is £10 more, you get with it the 3-in-1 tool, the fur and fluff tool. You do not get that hard floor adapter. I'll mention that in a minute. You get that, a multi-angle tool, which is really nice. You get the turbo tool. You also get the soft dusting tool. So the extras you get are the soft dusting tool, the multi-angle tool, the fur and fluff tool, but you also get a mattress tool, which is this. So you get that. So instead of that, where are we? Instead of the this hard floor adapter, it seems they are giving you the mattress tool now, which is $8.99. Now that will be more use to us than the hard floor tool, because we tried it on hard floor, just turn the rotating brushes off and it seemed to suck up fine. But the hard tool, the hard floor tool that they show you there seems to have something like, you know, rubber. It's got like the rubber squeegees probably across it, but I won't really be needing it for that. So with the Advance, over and above the Pet Max, you're getting that $8.99. You're getting that $12.99, so that's 9 and 13. That's 22, and you're getting that £7. So that's 29 quid's worth of extra tools for an extra tenner. Now you don't get, as I mentioned before, that hard floor adapter in the with this that I got you to the Advance. So I've just rung Vax up and mentioned it to him. It's not listed as coming with it on the box. It's not mentioned at all in the instructions. So it seems like they've sort of like changed the design and you don't need it or whatever. It's just an optional extra. But she didn't really seem to know, the girl I talked to. She says, oh, well, it is coming up as an item from us for £4.99. We can send you one if you send us £4.99. I thought they might have just sent it anyway, but no. And but I says, no, don't bother. But she didn't seem to know why the instructions didn't mention it and why the box didn't mention it. She only said that, oh, sometimes if you buy off them, you get some extra bits. But look, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. So how could I have bought it off them when everything's out of stock? So this is what you got with it. With all versions, you get the turbo brush. Now this is an air-powered brush. It's not got a separate motor. It's powered by that little turbine thing there. So it's just the suction of the air turns that turbine and that turns that. The disadvantage with that is that it's using a lot of the suction to turn the mechanism. If it was motor driven, all the suction would be there, but it's still quite effective, as you'll see later. It spins at a hell of a speed, and even when you put it on the carpet, it's enough power to keep it spinning and to brush and suck up. So you get that with all versions. You get this with all versions, and this stores on the machine itself. So it's a dead clever idea. You push a button there, push that button, and out pulls the crevice tool. So you've got the crevice tool as normal, and then if you want to use it that way around with a sort of like a brush, very stubbly haired brush there, small surface for small areas, you can, and then you just push that lever in again and you can put it in that way around for this brush. They are sort of quite hard bristles, so got a bit of force to get hairs up and that with that, and like I said, that stores on the machine. I'll show you that later. So you get that and that with all versions. Now with the Pet Max, you get this as well. This is the fur and fluff tool. It's got a little, don't know whether you can see it, little sort of like animal footprint on it there. And it's sort of quite a hard rubber. It's flexible, but so that'd be really good for scraping sort of fur off things, cat fur, dog fur. So you get that with the Pet Vax. And the extra bits you get with the Advance are this, the soft brush, which I showed you earlier, and they are really, really soft bristles. You know, that's not hurting at all. I wouldn't want to do that too much with it. Well, it's not too hard, but that is much stiffer. So this would be to delicate corners like coving on top of your polystyrene coving or something like that, where you don't want to damage it with stiff bristles for getting rid of cobwebs. As would this one. I think this will be really handy. It's like a multi-angle. It's got the tube running through it, so you could go right over the top of a wardrobe like that from below. Again, it's got really, really soft bristles. So, like I say, if you can imagine on the end of your extension pole, which is the handle of the thing, again I'll show you later, that you can get the top of cupboards and stuff. That's handy. And finally, this, which they call the mattress tool. And again, it's got sort of like, it's like velvety in the middle, you'll have felt that before, but the front and the back are quite hard. That's sort of quite a sort of wood scrub, and that's what they call the mattress tool for sort of like bigger areas of upholstery. So they're the 3 extra tools you get with the Advance. Like I said, there's nearly 30 quid's worth there alone. So for an extra tenner, it was well worth it. Plus the Argos one, they wanted 4 quid delivery, whereas Amazon was free. So it was a no-brainer really, just for a real money of 6 quid extra. I went for the Advanced version. Okay, so I hope that thoroughly goes through all the bits you get with it. Let's see the thing in action. Okay, this is the Vac. So just before we see it in action picking stuff up, I'll just run quickly through some of the features. So the lead there, normally it would sort of like hang on the floor. It comes out near the bottom of the appliance, but they give you a little hook, and you can hook that into it there. I need to put my glasses on for this. So that keeps it out of the way as you're moving around. It's a really, really long lead. I'll measure it shortly. I forgot to measure it, but I'll put it on the screen at the bottom here, how long the lead is. But it just wraps around as normal around these 2 supports, just like a normal lead, and then you can quick release, move it down like that. So I'll just take that off while I show you the handle. Now the wand release, you press this button here. There's a movable button there, and the whole wand comes out, and that is your extension piece as well. You connect the hose, I'll show you that now. You connect the hose to there and the tools to there. So you would just undo, there's 2 places you can undo the flex one. The one there right down at the thing, I don't know why you'd undo it there. And that just clicks over. But you don't do this one. Take that out. You could just use that as a normal hoover and up end, but you put that in there, it clicks in place, and that acts as your wand. Now here is the tool I mentioned on the intro. That's where it mounts, just goes in a clip there. And as I showed you before, it's either the crevice tool or the brush that way with fairly rough bristles, or that sort of brush that way. So that then goes over the end there and just clicks on. And that's the extent of your hose. You can't extend it in and out. It's not telescopic that, because it is just the handle. But of course you can move it. I can easily reach the ceiling here from a sitting down position. So that's that. So take that off there. Take that off there, put the handle back in. So everything has like a click when you put it back in place. Okay, so like he says, if you put it the right way around. Right, now you've got 4 buttons at the top here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This button here, sorry, and including this one to remove the handle, it's 5. So this button here is the one that you just press to take the entire unit out. Now that entire unit comes out. There's nothing to undo down here. It just butts up against a solid sort of chamfered neoprene diaphragm. And that's what you could take to the stairs. You don't have to cart the brush head with you. You can take that up and down stairs or to the car or whatever and use all the attachments as normal on that. It's pretty light. That's it, me picking it up with my little finger. Claims on the box to be the UK's lightest lift-off vac, and then just goes there and clicks back in place. So that's that button there. The button on this side, you just press, pull forward, and that just releases the dust carrying bit. Then you'd go to your bin, press this tab in here, lid comes loose, and you just empty it out. You can take this lid off, hinge it back, and take all that out. And there's also this removable filter which has a thing to put your fingers in there. You can take that out for brushing. Under here, let's put that down there for now. This bit here, you twist that, take it off, and this filter here is the post motor filter, that they call it. That just goes in there. They say don't clean that. When it gets really, really dirty looking, they say replace the whole filter. I think, looking on the website, they were about £6, I think. So I don't know how long that'll be. I would imagine a quick brush with a very soft brush would be okay. I can't see any harm in that. But if it gets really clogged inside, it says don't wash it, just replace it. So again, that just goes on there. And where it butts up there and where it butts up down here, the main unit, it's just against an airtight flange. So that's them buttons there. Now these 2 buttons here, one each side, one is the on-off button for the main motor, and one is to stop the brushes turning if you're doing a hard floor. So, turn the motor on. As you see now, it's pretty quiet. It's a lot quieter than the other one. As you see on there, it's hard to see, but the brushes are not moving because it's in its vertical position. Even if I press the brush switch on and off, they won't turn because the hoover is vertical. As I pull it down, it shows you a foot there. You just put your foot on the base piece. There's no separate trigger as such. You just put your foot on the base piece, pull it towards you, Once it's unclicked, you can then put the brushes on and you'll see there is a green light. I don't know whether you can see that green light. That green light there indicates the brushes are going. As soon as you put it to the vertical position again, the brushes stop. So you can probably hear that. So as I pull it back, brushes starting, push it up, brushes stop. When you're actually using it, it'll obviously be in this position. You would turn the brushes off with this switch on the left hand side. And then that would be for hard floors. So just turn the motor off again. So like I say, you've got a button to turn the brushes on and off with the main suction motor going. On for carpets, off for hard floors. And then it automatically turns the brushes off once you've got the carpet, the thing in the use position, tilted back like that. Now there's also a suction power thing there. This here is like an air inlet or an air outlet or whatever, which will reduce, I would think reduces the suction. It's like the ones that you get on the vertical pole that you can let some of the air out so it's not all going to the end. So if you had it on, you didn't want a very powerful suction, it was sucking itself to the carpet, you'd reduce that. It says floor type select. So you move it one way for low pile carpets and hard floors, and over there for a deep pile carpet. So I would imagine it either increases or decreases the suction for the sorts of carpet. Okay, so that's that. The don't think there's anything more. The wheels, they've got like a rubber. The wheels themselves are a rubber tyre on them. They're not just plastic. The wheels are plastic, but they are a rubber tyre, so that will grip to a hard floor more than just a straight plastic wheel will. This panel, this brush, you can get in there with your scissors to remove it. And I think that's about it. We've covered emptying it, taking it off, taking the two filters out, removing the entire thing for use. Now the accessories, so that goes there. Now you don't get a bag with them. I had to use my bag. My Alexa speaker came in, but as I showed you before, that's the flexible one. All these could just either go in, you can just use them as in the just shoved in the end of the tube like that, or like I say, if you're using that, you'll then just shove it on the end like that. That's the pet one. Get it hooked on proper. That's the pet one. That's the flexible over the top of wardrobes or whatever one. Now this, the turbo head, as I said before, I'll show you this in action very shortly, but it seems to work very well. If I turn that on, you can see them brushes are going round at a really high rate, and even when I put it on the carpet, being air powered, it obviously slows them down. It slows them down a lot, but it never slows it down to a complete stop, even with the pressing quite hard. So we'll show that picking stuff up shortly. So that's off there. Plug that in. So everything goes in with a click. That's on there, that's on there. And that is about it. If I remember later, I'll take the decibel reading of my old existing Panasonic Vac and this one. And but this is definitely a lot quieter. Right, let's see it in action, actually picking some stuff up, shall we? Okay, so here we are. First of all, with the old Panasonic. Again, this is at least 10 years old. 1900 watts as well. So that's more than twice the electric consumption of the newer one, which is only 800 watts. So it's 1100 watts more than the new Vax one. So quite a bit more money to run over a year as well, I would think. It's got a new bag in it, brand new paper bag, and the filters, we've cleaned the filters, anything you can clean on it without a total strip down, we have done. So let's just see how effective this is. So first of all, some cornflakes, then some oats, and then some hares. So, as you see, pick the cornflakes up okay, and most of the oats on one pass. But the hares, it is totally ineffective. I don't know whether you can see them there. Well, there was a clump there. This is straight from my wife's hairbrush, and over a few times. This is what it used to be like, going over and over, trying to get rid of the hairs. You've got to do this backwards and forwards quite a few times. As you can see, even after a few passes, the hairs are still there, so not that brilliant. Right, we'll unplug this one now and we'll bring the new Vax in and we'll try that. You know, one thing I did forget to show you just now was it moves. You can move the whole arm like that. Much easier for going around corners. It's not like a Dyson ball vac or anything, but the whole thing is on a swivel. Does make things a lot easier. So let's have a go now with this. As you see, I've clipped the wire. Well, you won't see, but I've clipped the wire to the top of the vac as I showed before. So let's see how effective this is. We'll go down its own row first, and then try and collect them leftover hairs from the Panasonic. So let's turn it on. Brushes are going. So there we are on the oat. And here we are on the hairs. So one pass, and you can see they've all gone. One pass, the hairs have gone. I'll just get these bits of try. Yeah, that's a lot easier to push now with that flap open because it's not sucking its way, but obviously the suction isn't going to be as much, so I'm going to let half block that and see if it gets them hairs. These are the just the remains of the cornflakes that I couldn't reach. So these are the hairs now that the Panasonic couldn't get, and I've only got that vent at the bottom halfway along now. So push that. Yeah, even that has got it. So even on the hearth suction, it has got it. With that open, fully open, that's an absolute doddle to pull now. It's not sucking itself to the carpet, but with that shut, that is quite hard to push. It's really, you would only do that for really stubborn deep cleaning. Like that. You can hear it then change its tone. So again, as we go up, it turns the brushes off automatically, and we can just do it, and you can see there's not a hair inside. These two marks here are permanent marks of the carpet. I've not bothered shampooing or anything this one, because this carpet will shortly be getting changed. It's, as you see, it's a solid black carpet, and it absolutely shows the hairs up like nothing else. The other carpets in the house are a more sort of speckled colour. You can just take this off. The more or less sort of colour, which are much better for not showing the hairs. But this one, until we got this vac, was an absolute swine. But you can see that's where the hairs were, and they've totally gone. That's two marks you can see are just permanent marks. So yeah, we're really pleased with this vac. Seems to do all it's claimed of it. Yeah. Hope that demo was of some use. Okay, so this is just a demo on the turbo brush. As you see, I've taken the lift-off bit off the main vacuum, which is the main cleaner, which is there, just to show that if you were, say, doing this to your car, you would just have to take this bit outside. Saves carting the whole thing around when you're using the turbo brush. So again, we've got some hairs on the carpet and some oats and some cornflakes. This is the first time I've tried this, so it's a live sort of demo. I've no idea how good it'll be. I don't expect it to be as good as the actual rollers, the twin rollers in the machine itself. But so it might struggle to pick the hairs up, we'll soon see. So you can see the brushes turning. So as expected, no problem on the cornflakes. We'll try it on the hairs now. And it's I don't know whether the camera's picking it up so much, but it is. That's a permanent mark on the carpet there. But as you can see, it's picked them hairs up pretty good. That mark in the corner there is a mark on the carpet. Like I said, we're getting rid of this black carpet very soon, because it shows every single hair. But yeah, it was quite effective. You can probably see there's a few hairs trapped around it there, so obviously we'll have to cut them off. But yeah, it picked things up pretty well, and the hair's better than I was expecting. So there you have it. As you saw, it picked up far more effective than my existing old Panasonic one. Like I said, that is at least, come to think of it, I bet it's knocking on 15 to 20 years old. That Panasonic, it'd be interesting to see when they did come out. But 1900 watts, at the time I got it, I thought, this is going to be incredibly powerful. And we were satisfied with it, but as things have progressed, even with keeping all the filters that you can get out clean, it's just given up the ghost on picking up hairs, whether it ever could effectively, I can't remember. And my wife was literally tearing her hair out on how ineffective it was. So she tore some more hair out to do the tests I've just done. But yeah, you could see how more effective the Vax was, plus all the extra tools that come with it, in my opinion, do make it the Advance one worth that extra tenner. I was unable to test it against any current vac, like any other current vac, like a Shark or a Dyson, because I can only test with one I've got. So yeah, it is going to beat an old decrepit vacuum, I know that. How effective it will be against other vacuums, I don't know. And again, what do you sprinkle on the carpet? I only had cornflakes, oats, and the hairs, but the hairs are always the toughest to get up, and it got them up great. So I can't see how, you know, a Shark or a Dyson could be much more effective than that. It got them up in one or two passes, that was it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend one. For the extra tenner, I would recommend the advanced version because you get them 3 extra tools. The flexible one that goes over the top that you do the top of wardrobe, say, with. The very, very soft one. And the mattress one. So, yeah, glad I bought it. Reliability wise, I don't know how it's going to be. That will have to be seen. It's got a 2-year guarantee, and hopefully I won't need it. So I hope that's been of some use to you. I'll see you for another review very, very soon. Bye for now.